Well, it comes down to the value proposition. We have a certain value proposition for our clients. We have a kind of similar value proposition for our investors. The value proposition is buy right, buy low, manage the repairs and the cost you put into the airplane, and then have a really good international distribution system where you can rapidly sell these and monetize these parts, right? And by selling to end users as opposed to other intermediaries, we maximize the yield. First of all, when it comes to parting our airplanes, we don't go and part out any and every airplane. It's an asset selection is primary focus when we get into this. So explaining and educating the investor why we only focus on certain assets or certain airplanes or engines as opposed to any airplane engine. And we've kind of found our niche in younger generation A320 and 737 new gen airplanes. And the reason we like these airplanes is because a lot of the parts we harvest from these airplanes are production parts, which are going into current production airplanes. So that helps us to move these parts quickly because the demand for these parts are much higher. Again, if you talk about the 320s and the 737 new gens, each of them has north of 6,000 airplanes flying. So with 6,000 airplanes, each having two engines, that's 12,000 engines flying on each platform. So before we go in and bid, we already do a lot of the legwork ahead of the bid. So we look at the landing gears, we look at the APU, we look at the nacelles on the airplane, we look at the avionics, and then we come up with a number of what we're going to make, a year, 2 year, 3 year program. What is this airplane going to generate in revenue, both top line and bottom line. And then we go back and see what is it we want to pay. What have we paid when we closed on the previous airplanes? And then we want to show that to the investor and give them projection and say, here's what we see this airplane is going to do. Here's the track record of what we've done with a similar airplane of this vintage, and show to them how they can get north of 30% returns. And that's what a lot of investors want. What's the break even, right? We break even in about 6 months. And how much am I going to make? And I think on both these, the returns that we've generated far exceed what a lot of these private equity funds are accustomed to. As of today, about 80% of our revenue is coming from direct end user sales. So for an investor, they have the comfort that these guys are buying it right, they're controlling the maintenance and the repair cost into these units. That's helping us be a lower cost provider. So we can go to an airline and when we quote, we can quote 5% below the next guy, but still there's enough margin that we, maintaining those healthy returns for everybody.